everybody, and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are, as always, your hosts, Arne and Carlos.
Yes, and today we are going to do a pillow with our new fabrics.
We're going to show you how to use our new fabrics. This pillow is really cool because you can use it, you can do it with the leftovers that you have when you're quilting, when you're doing your beautiful quilts, and you've got strips of fabric that you don't really know what to do with them. You could do this really cool pillow. The design is not by us. We have only designed the fabric, so it's Janet Goddard who has made the design, and she's made it for us. So this pillow is available on our blog. Just go to the blog, to arnecarlos.com. Look for the blog post about the leftover pillow or the pillow with leftover fabric, and you'll get a free pattern there with all the instructions that you need.
But you can use any pillow. You don't have to follow the instructions if you really don't want to. If you have a bigger one, you just
adapt.
And you just divide the total measurements into 3, and then you have 3 pieces the same. And the center is first the 1/3 piece of the third, and then you have 2 pieces on the outside.
Yeah.
So when you sew it, you start with the flower, you frame it with the 2 pieces on this side, then you frame it over and under.
So for that reason, we're not going to be talking about any measurements today. So the measurements for this pillow are available on our blog. Go to arnecarlos.com, select the blog post about this cushion, and you will have all the measurements that you need there. We won't be talking about it because then we can be a little bit more flexible and kind of focus more on the pillow than on the size. And then you can choose to do the pattern according to the sizes on our blog, or you can go and find yourself another pillow size and do it for that.
And we like to be flexible.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So we're starting with the cutting of the fabric, and this is our fabric Nordic Garden Dreams that we released in August 2019. And it's our first fabric collection. So we're very, very excited, and it's actually the first time we're going to be using it for something on it. So that's also very exciting.
And we're going to make a blue one with the pink. I think we use the pink flower because then we don't have to go way into the fabric. So we can use this for other things. So just place the pattern over the flower.
And we have something very special that we're going to do today. We're going to unbox this.
Because now we have a real scissor.
Yeah. Well, we have been doing our sewing tutorials, like our crazy quilting. Everybody is commenting. Everybody was commenting these dead scissors. They're dead. We only use them for opening stuff in the kitchen now. So we've retired this set, and now we've got this. We got this in a specialist knife store in Japan when we were in Tokyo in February. And if you've seen our video, our vlog or whatever it's called, the travel vlog that we did on Japan, we talked about the scissors that we got. And we said that if we ever have dead scissors again in any of our videos, you can yell at us in the comments field. So we have this brand new scissor. Is it the first time we're going to use it?
It's not opened yet, so this is like unboxing.
Okay, so I'm going to hand it over with 2 hands, very respectfully to you.
This is holy.
And I look forward to seeing the Japanese scissors that we got.
And this is not for paper.
No.
Never.
Wow, it feels so special, this moment.
So when we're not using it, we have to put this back on. This is a beautiful scissor.
Yeah, so let me get the packaging out of the way for you. I'll just put it on the table.
And the price was beautiful too.
Yeah, it wasn't very expensive, was it?
I think it was.
No, I don't think so.
No?
The knives were expensive, but the scissor was quite reasonable.
Well, it's beautiful. So let's see, let's go. But you know, the reason why we didn't have any good scissors is that we haven't been working with fabrics for how many years?
Oh, at least 10, if not more.
So if people think we're new to fabrics, we're not new. This is what we did before when we worked in the fashion industry, because we were sewing the collections, the prototypes ourselves in the first years. And we also made clothes for ourselves. But we haven't done it for many years.
No, that's true, yeah.
Feels like we're going back to what we did before.
Yeah. And now you're cutting the self edge of the fabric. I think it's so cool. It's got our name on it and everything.
So we work with a pillow that is 36 and 36.
But we
So
said
we
no,
just-
we wouldn't give any measurements.
Or-
No measurements.
Yeah, and I need this again because
Yeah,
we
I
need
know.
2 of the other ones.
Yeah.
So we use this one, and then I will frame it with this fabric.
So here we go. This is the square number 1, which is going to be in the center, like so.
And I don't know if this is like a patchwork world thing, because we're new in the patchwork world. We just have that as a hobby. But in the fashion industry, when you make clothing, you always iron the fabric before you cut it.
Of course. I think it goes without saying, at least in the fashion industry. I hope the patchwork people are also doing this.
Yeah, like you need to iron it before you cut it.
And then you need to iron it after you sew it. You have to open up the seams.
You
Always.
open up the seams, it's important.
Very important.
So
Are you gonna cut it double?
I think I will cut it double. It's quicker. So it's this part. So then we need 2 of these. You could actually rip it because this is cotton. But since we have a beautiful scissor, no, I think I cut one on one.
One at a time?
Yeah. And I don't think I will pin it. Well, it's not square. It's not straight line on this side, so I have to pin it. But do as you like. Rip it or pin it or cut it. I will make a shirt in this one.
Yeah, yeah.
I just have to find my old shirt pattern. And I don't know where it is because I haven't made shirts for many years.
Well, you could just make a new pattern.
I can make a new pattern.
Take a nice old shirt and use that as a base for a new shirt pattern.
That's a good idea. If you have something you like, you can just, and you can, or maybe it's worn out, you can just make the pattern from it.
How's the cutting going?
Oh, this scissor is like
A dream.
a dream.
Yeah. After we finish with it, it goes right into the box and then it goes into the holy place. Until next time.
The Holy Grail. So now you can sew the first 2 pieces.
I will.
Does it look good?
That looks very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sewing, as we all know, is always a little bit like cheating. You just try to adapt everything so that it fits well together, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna sew the first 2. And then I suppose I'll pass it over to you so that you can...
I can iron it open. And we should also use some, what you call, wadding or wadding on this.
Vatting, I think it's
Vatting on
called.
this, but they didn't have it in our local store, so we will just show you and talk about it.
Oh, I love the sound of the machine. So, I've sewn on the first piece.
And you can sew the next one and then I can iron it. This is teamwork.
Absolutely.
We can have a production of pillows
a little sweatshop.
and we can sell them from the garage in summer.
So you're cutting now the secondary.
I'm cutting the long pieces that's gonna frame the flower on the 2 other sides.
That's good. So I'm putting this again. As you If you're a sewer, you know that they go back to back, or what do you call it? Is it back to back? Front to front? Sorry, front to front.
Front to front.
So you just pin them together, front to front like this. And then they go through the machine at the desired seam allowance that you've put.
What is trådretning in English again?
I think we should have prepared for this.
The droit fil in French?
Droit fil,
Droit
it means the way the thread is going, the direction of the thread.
Yeah. I'm not so worried about that for this quilting, because normally, like if you do like a crazy quilt or something, you don't think about that because you use the pieces you have. But for clothing, you have to be very careful about droit fil.
Yeah. So the center of the pillow is now set. Here we have the strips sewn together, as you can see, and this is the equivalent of the center here. Now, before we sew these with that, we need to open up these seams.
So I can iron them open?
With the iron, and then I will do connecting of this strip to that strip. Teamwork, huh?
Teamwork.
Very nice. I'm just remembering how fun sewing is.
Yeah.
We used to have a lot of fun in the beginning, like 10, 15, no, 20 years ago when we were doing our first collections. We were sewing everything here in the kitchen with gingham fabrics and just having a lot of fun, actually.
And we were modeling on the...
Yeah, modeling on the mannequin, on the dummy, creating the patterns and then sewing. It's a lot of fun.
So now I just take this off and then...
And it feels like we're going back to that a little bit right now. And
it feels like we're going
Of course,
back
the difference now is we have the cameras as well. We didn't have cameras when we did this in the past. Mm-hmm. Look at that.
Be
beautiful.
You know, like if this was on clothing, like for a shirt, you would iron the seam allowance out like this. But I think for this one, we just leave it like that.
Leave it open, yeah.
So it doesn't get too thick.
I agree. Okay, it's perfectamundo.
Do you want
yes.
needles?
So again, front to front, I suppose this is called. I pin them together, and then I sew them. And yeah, because they're not exactly, I mean, they're kind of exactly the same, but not really.
Are you complaining about my
just
cutting?
that things happen maybe when I sewed it, but it's easy, you know, I mean, if they're not exactly the same, you just stretch them and you just manipulate them so that they fit perfectly. And then when you sew them, once that seam, the machine has gone through it with the thread, you won't even see that. Maybe one is kind of like a micro millimeter.
You can get away with a lot of stuff. You can get away
with anything.
Oh, that's a strange curve on this one.
Okay, go.
Yes.
Yep, so I pin my fabric and now taking that through the machine. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I kind of understand people when they just become addicted to sewing, because it really is fun. I think I might become addicted to this again, Arne.
Yeah, well, why not? It's good if you get addicted, because I want to make sure it's all the fabrics. So then I can put you on the job.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the last piece.
And it's perfect. I mean, it took you pretty much the same amount of time to cut it as
Yeah.
it does for me
To sew it.
to sew it. So that's really cool. So again, back to back, or no, sorry, front to front.
Front to front.
You put them together like so.
Is this my color?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you definitely need a shirt.
I need a shirt.
So while I continue the front of the cushion, maybe you can just keep moving the tutorial forward.
Yeah. So I think I should open this one just to show you what's inside. Because we didn't get that wadding or what.
Yeah, that's the issue. You know, you want to do a tutorial. We went to our local haberdashery store, and guess what? They don't have batting. We went there yesterday because we waited until last minute, which we should never do when we live in the countryside, Arne.
No.
They didn't have any of this batting or wadding or vadding or whatever it's called, so now we have to do it without it.
So you see, the piece that Carlos is making now, that is going to be put on the this wadding kind of fabric, and then watting, and then you take another fabric and you place these layers on top of each other, and then you just make this a seam around the flower. So I wait until you're finished.
Yep. I'm just pinning right now.
And the back is just two pieces that overlaps.
So, and I have a little question for you.
Yes.
Are we using something else instead, like a replacement fabric of some sort, or what?
No, I think we are faking it.
We're faking it. So no. Okay, so you've decided to go without the batting for this one.
Maybe we pin it and finish it later.
No. We have to finish it here.
You feel okay with no adding?
Well,
Well,
I did suggest you could take some fabric that we have lying around to.
Oh, we don't have that thick fabric.
Well, we have that wool that you got for the. Sorry, I'm not giving up. We have that wool that you got for the carpets, or for the what do you call it? To line that thing.
Yeah, maybe I should use that.
Yeah, it's in the.
It's just a piece of wool.
Yeah, it's in the room next door. I mean, I don't know, but.
To make it like.
Yeah, I mean, just to show how we do it, even though there's no.
No, it's more confusing.
Okay, so. That's Arne's decision. I just, I'm just the sewer today. I don't have any authority here, so we won't do it like the way it's supposed to do, which is kind of funny when it's a tutorial where you're supposed to do it. But anyway, we're okay.
I use this cotton. This is we call it the toile. I think in English they call it muslin.
Muslin?
Muslin. We call it toile because that's what we called it in the French fashion school where I was a teacher. So we stay with the toile. We call also like when you do clothing on the dummy, we call that also a toile, the prototype in this fabric.
Okay, so now the front is done, and now you have.
Then I open the seams.
You have a job here opening up the seams before we show everybody what our front looks
and now I'm
like.
going to give you a hard time later.
Okay. Ooh, very nice.
So let's open the seams.
Very exciting.
See what it looks like. You see, it's okay to do it like that because it will get very thick if you put it over like this.
Yeah, of course. And now we have to pretend, right?
Pretend. Well, we have to do all these shopping things in Oslo because it's hard to find around here. Well, maybe we haven't been to all the stores, but. Ta-da!
Looking good.
So.
Oh, you want me to use that?
Yeah, because if you had that thick fabric that is on where is it? On this one, to make it a little bit fluffy. You can hardly see that it's fluffy, but you like.
So we're gonna pretend.
You can't tell that there's something under, but we know it.
Yeah. So we're gonna pretend that this is that. Is that what you mean?
No, this is something else. Let me cut first.
Okay, he has a plan.
I have a plan. Isn't it good that like if people think we're like so professional and sometimes we just do things
another way?
Another way?
But
I think
the
that's
pattern
good.
is going to be professional because it's in our blog and it's free and it's written by Janet Goddard, so that's going to be professional. This, I don't know what we're going to call it. Just some cushion making, I guess.
It's a cushion. But this fabric that I cut now is like the fabric that's supposed to be in between.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the kind of in
the
between.
two in between.
That we're pretending is batting, right?
No, actually it's like say this is the background, this is the padding, this is
yes,
the
we're having a language barrier thing here because you're not understanding what I'm trying
then
to
you're
say.
seam around.
Yeah, exactly. But what I was trying to say is that this is going to be the make-believe of the batting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I will give you a very difficult task because you have to make a seam around
It's not a difficult task. I can do it.
this one. And you can decide which measurement you use.
I'm going to probably use the seam allowance measurement.
Yeah, 1.5 or 1.
No, I'm using 1, but we're not supposed to talk about measurements because we want people to be flexible and do their own thing. But yeah, I'm using the same measurement or seam allowance, the same measurement as I'm using the seam allowance for this. I can actually pin it.
Yep.
And then you can proceed cutting whatever else you need to cut.
I think this in the background. So we have more dark, just to pick up the dark from behind the flower.
Mm-hmm.
And for this, I need to use that one because I'm going to do this very easy.
Okay, so the cushion is now, the front is now pinned, and what we're doing is we're pretending that this fabric here, inside this fabric, there is some batting.
Yep.
So that, so it's just pretend, since we didn't get it at the shop.
But you can't hardly see it, so I think you should do it from the other side, just so
Yeah.
you see the flower.
I think so too.
It's easier. Okay, this is easy because you have the pattern, so you can just cut. You see, you cut to get a straight line. And Freya is angry again.
Okay.
So for the back you need two pieces that is overlapping. And on this one there's no buttons or nothing, it's just overlapping. And that you can do by kind of by the eye.
Okay, I'm focusing now.
You do it so well.
I hope.
Yeah.
I know I could go all around with one, but I prefer to do it very thoroughly, so...
And then if you do it like this, then you can take a needle and you can sew the tail through the fabric and just tie it on the back.
That's what
so
I
you
was
don't
thinking.
have that.
That's what I was thinking, actually. Okay. And here we go. Voila.
Yeah, and now I'm prepared these pieces for the background. And on this one, she's folded over once and just sew it down. You see, but the edge is raw. So what we will do is we just make a zigzag on this edge.
By the way, just ta-da!
Ta-da!
Ta-da! And we're pretending that there is some batting
in between. But
here.
People have already forgotten it.
Yes, we all forgotten about it.
Oh,
yes.
it's so soft.
Okay, so Arne, you were saying a zigzag seam?
A zigzag on this one.
Yeah, and we're going to have to put the machine
on zigzag.
On zigzag. So let's do that. Okay, let's see how this goes. Yeah, it's a great... Just a zigzag edge.
I love the scissor, I love the iron. Even the iron is new.
Yeah, now we just need to do
need
something
a new
about
sewing
this
machine.
poor sewing machine. I mean, it's a great sewing machine. We've had it for so long, but I think it needs some tender loving care. That's what it needs. I don't think we need to replace it.
And we have other sewing machines that we have to find someone who can fix, because my really good machine, old one, I took it to a TV studio in Oslo, and we had it in a suitcase, and we used it in the TV studio, and when we came home, it didn't work anymore.
So
something happened in the suitcase.
A nice zigzag seam is done.
Yeah, one more for you.
And then we have one more to go.
So now this is going to be on the back of the pillow, and they're going to be like overlapping. Is that the right word?
Overlapping each other, yes.
Each other. So we'll have the flower facing up like that, and then this should be over. So I put that one. Ta-da! New pillow. These pillows we will use in the car, in the Beetle when we go driving, because they're small and you can use them as I think it's called back pillows. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, just for some added support.
Because sometimes when
your lower back.
Yeah, when you drive, you can be very tiring for your back sometimes, because the seats in the old Beetle is not the most comfy. But
there you go.
So this one goes up like that, and we just pin them on top of each other.
And then what we're going to be doing is sewing it all inside out, and then turn it out
and iron,
and then it will look like this with a back that way. So while Arne pins, I admire him and his fantastic abilities as a pinner.
We
and
could
a
work
cutter.
on normal. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't be done like this because
How would it be done?
we would probably be on each
Oh yeah,
one
yeah,
machine.
yeah. Okay, you mean like that? Yeah, this is just for demonstration purposes only. Normally, we wouldn't do it like that. Yeah, you're right about that.
So normally you doesn't wait that much.
No,
Because you
normally
work on
one
other
person
things.
would do the whole thing.
But now it's pinned. So now you can sew it on
Sew it all around
all around.
on 1 centimeter seam allowance, but we're not talking about that.
Seam allowances. And I can watch.
You can watch me do this.
So when you finish sewing it, you turn
Oops, son, this is still in zigzag, Arne. Okay, so we need to
But
go to one up here.
It's fine because it's on the edge. And
Yeah, but
put it.
there
Yeah.
we go.
So when you finish what Carlos is doing now, you're going to iron the seam allowance open. You turn it inside out like this or outside? No, inside out. Outside. Outside out.
Okay, so here we go.
So when Carlos has finished his work now, then you iron the seam allowance open again and you turn it inside out or outside in or whatever.
And I suppose you want to have a little go at the sewing machine
Maybe
as
I
well?
should finish it since I did all the cutting.
Okay.
Well, you
Yeah,
did
you
all
know
the
what?
sewing.
I'll do the ironing for the last bit. And then you can do...
The sewing?
the sewing, yeah.
I could cut something else, but I don't have my pattern, so... But it's not, you can do like a lot of different pillows with these fabrics because there's a lot of flowers you can pick from. You can have the iris, you can have these irises, or you can have from 2 different roses. You can have the yellow one, the pink one, even 3, and this one. So there's a lot of things you can choose from. You can even put the butterfly in the middle of your pillow and you can make embroidery on the butterfly. Then you kind of redesign the whole fabric. So there's a lot of possibilities.
Absolutely.
So maybe this is a little bit too much for me. Maybe this is better for a women's blouse or dress.
I think it could make a cool shirt. What do you think?
And it's always nice to have your name on something.
Yeah,
This is so
I agree on that
cool.
one, yeah.
This, our name is on the fabric. And it's so inspiring to work with these fabrics. So now we have started working on the second collection. So that will be fun to see how that comes out. And we will try to pick colors so you can actually use these fabrics with the new collection. So some of these colors will live for the next collection.
Okay, so I've done the seam. Let's remove these. So I suppose you want me to change places with you so that you do the final touch.
I can do the final touch.
Yeah. And I'm gonna leave it to him because it's not fair that I get to do all the fun stuff. And besides, he is much better with straight lines than what I am.
Well, you never know.
Well, yeah, but sometimes my straight line, it goes...
But if it's not totally, it doesn't make it big.
No, but...
No one's gonna look
It's
at
still,
it.
it's the final thing, so, you know, you need... I mean,
So
yeah.
you won't do the ironing?
I'll do the ironing, you just have a seat, relax. And I'll iron this open.
This is teamwork.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think I may want to cut here.
This machine I got from my mother. I think she bought it in the 80s. I'm not sure. But I think we should clean it up a little bit because we haven't used it much the last years.
The last years it's just been in the In the loft,
in the
the
box.
attic, hasn't it?
But it's a very nice machine. It's simple, and I had one newer, like a computer machine, but I gave it to my sister because it was, I think it was a little bit too much information, and it was.
Yeah, you like the simple things, don't
I
you?
like simple things.
Yeah. Okay, so the finishing touches goes to Arne. His eyes are better than me when it comes to making straight lines.
But first, I remember like something you had to do.
Oh, we forgot something?
From the sewing, from the clothing, we cut the corners.
Yeah, I did that on one.
Oh,
of
you
them.
did it already?
Yeah, on one.
You're so
I
good.
did it on this side.
You are so good. And turn it around and iron it before I
Of course.
sew down the last edge. And now I feel I'm like just for decoration.
No, but you're gonna get to do the final, most important seam that will make or break this cushion, I would say. Let me just...
And then we should put it in the Volkswagen so you can see how beautiful it looks in the car. Both of them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go.
One of them.
Why only one?
Because...
Oh, because we only have one pillow.
One pillow.
Yeah.
We have to get the new pillow. This is 30 and 30.
Mm. It's 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters. Okay, almost there.
Mm-hmm. We finished with the needles. Put that back in the stash.
There we go, opening up all these beautiful seams.
And you do it so well.
Yeah, and I'm good at burning my fingers.
Yeah, don't burn the fabric. You feel the pressure when I watch you?
Yes, I do.
Is it difficult for you?
So we turn it inside out or outside in, because it's inside out, and now we're gonna turn it outside in.
No, outside out.
And if all's well, there should be a pillow coming up. Simple, but quite effective. Let's do that.
And it matched the car because the car is red inside and it's bluish gray on the outside. I think it will look good in the car.
It will be great.
You can't even see we didn't use that
Looking good.
wadding.
So some more ironing, I suppose,
Mm-hmm.
before we finish it off. This is why you wanted to do the last seam, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So that I got stuck with this boring job.
I can do it.
Yeah, but I'm here now, so let me do
It's
it.
boring to wait. Oh, you do it so well.
So that's first side.
I think those are well good together, these two.
Yes. Well, that's the whole point. We wanted to do fabrics that go well together, but, however, can I just...
Oh, sorry.
We wanted it to go well together, but also that you can mismatch them. So, I mean, they complement each other. They go well together, but I need something... Yeah, that would be a good one. I don't want to use the Japanese
Not the
scissors
new
for that.
scissor. And it's so the new one is so sharp.
Yeah,
so
the
you
new
can
one is
use it.
so sharp, we'd probably cut right through it. Yeah, what I was saying, it's great to have fabrics that complement each other and that match, but it's also nice when they don't match and still look good together. So, yeah, complement each other as opposed to matching each other. So it's nice to have a little bit of both here. I'm going to do the same here on this corner. There we go. Looking good. Yeah, I guess I'm better at ironing than you are, and you're much better at the straight seams. So even if I was enjoying
Because
sewing it,
that's true, because like when we worked in the fashion business and we went to Paris or New York or Copenhagen for the fashion shows or the trade shows, it was always Carlos who had to do the ironing because we had to pack everything in a suitcase. Some of the pieces we just we put on hangers in the shower and put on the hot water.
that's a great way to get.
And then
your
we
clothing.
steamed the clothes so they looked nice, but some of the blouses and the shirts Carlos had to iron.
I have a funny story about that.
I hate
about
ironing.
Yeah, so this is a really cool thing because when you go to the hotel, no, not really. When you go to the hotel, when you're traveling, you know, you do. You want to have your clothes neatly ironed, and sometimes it's not possible, and then you take out your stuff and it's all wrinkled. So a good idea is to go into the hotel bathroom, put the shower on for like a couple of minutes, and then you can hang your clothing in. And
Or keep them in the shower while you are showering and just lock the door when you're finished and keep it in.
So the funny story is that we were in China a few years ago. 1 year ago, we were in China, and I was doing that. We were just checking into the hotel in Beijing, and then I had forgotten that we were going to be interviewed by a journalist, and suddenly there was a knock at the door.
Can I sew while you tell the story?
Yeah, suddenly there was a knock at the door. I still have one side left. And the journalist was there, and Arne had taken his pants off, so he kind of ran into the bathroom, which was full of steam, and then there was an issue with the safe. So the person that was going to repair the safe came up, and the translator showed up as well. Suddenly there were like 4 people in the room,
and it was a toilet that had glass windows.
Yeah, and Arne was hiding.
But
in
luckily
the
it was full of steam because Carlos had put on the shower, so no one saw me. But I saw people walk by. I saw this red plastic box like a suitcase.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, oh, it's the person who come for the safe, but it was the journalist.
It was a journalist, the safe
photograph.
person, the translator, and I think one of the cleaners. Anyway,
So
Arne
I
was
was
stuck in there
locked in the
for
room.
like 10 minutes before I realized, wait, where's Arne? And then I realized he's in the bathroom without any pants on. And then the poor guy, when I got everybody out and I opened the door, he'd been sitting in that steam for 10 minutes. Your hair was so curly.
My hair was great. I have never had better hair on a picture before.
Yeah.
So
yeah. With your pants on, because by then you had your pants
I had great hair and wet pants.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the story of
dry
the steaming.
So let's see if I can do this kind of straight. If I'm gonna
You know what?
mess this up now, I really don't have time to.
If you do it curly, if the seam goes like that, just say it's on purpose, and then you can call it an organic seam. How about that?
Yeah, that's the thing from the time we worked in the fashion industry, because there was a lot of Norwegian designers. They all had organic lines. And I really don't know if they are organic because you can't make a straight seam, or if it's organic because it was kind of a fashion thing. I really don't know. But anyway. But you know, if you have an organic line, it should be very curved. Like, it shouldn't be almost. Because if it's almost, it looks like a mistake. It has to be proper.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it was funny. I just remember the story about the steaming in China. That was a really funny story. It's one of those the comedies where there's people, they keep coming in, they keep coming in more and more. Yeah.
Let's see. So we have a new pillow.
Yep. And an old one.
An old one.
I see that somebody had a little issue here, and they just went through the.
I pretend I didn't see it.
I pretend I don't see it, and it wasn't me.
It wasn't. It wasn't
We didn't
us.
make this pillow, so.
Oh, be careful.
And voila. Hopefully the seams are straight. If I was doing that, it would have been an organic seam, but for a pillow, maybe it's better to have a straight seam.
It's straight enough.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing the final result.
You have to cut off the ends.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the pillow. And now I think we should leave the machine here for a while because we can do the shirts that I'm dreaming about.
Okay, so here we have version 1 has some fabrics from our line. We can show this. This is the this one here is the white fabric, so it's the Nordic Garden Dream in white, and then it's got the iris around it, and on the back it has the polka dot, the organic polka dots, because they're not round, they're kind of. And this one has the daisies from the collection, the blue fabric, and the geometric one at the back. Should I put it on the...
Put it in, and let's see how it works.
And perhaps we can get one of the pillows on the sofa and use on the other one, and then we can see.
This will be nice for the car. This is the car pillow.
And then hang on a minute. I am gonna just take this one, old knitted pillow, an old knitted pillow that we made a long time ago, and then I'll put that in here just to see.
Just for show.
Just for show, yeah. That's could have been bigger. Hang on, I'll be right back.
He will be back in a minute. I think this one is beautiful. I like the blue one.
Yep. So get rid of this.
You're so good at this.
Bye bye.
I take this away so you don't burn yourself, because now I think you're very excited.
My grandmother embroidered this pillow, and I'm sure she will understand that we need to cover it up just for a minute, just to show the two pillows. There we go. And yeah, maybe why don't we do that, Arne? Since the car is still here, we haven't taken the car out for winter storage yet, so maybe we could just go into the Beetle and put them on the front seat. Huh? Look, two pillows. So shall we go do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see you outside.
See you outside.
You see?
Nice.
That looks really good. Freya!
Oh, this is comfy.
Freya, come on!
Hop.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
there you go.
here we are. Comfy little pillow.
Comfy.
You see it? Lower back. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
So now we're ready for...
Now we're ready for another tour. It's been delightful having you here on this sewing episode. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. We definitely need to give our sewing machine a little bit of tender loving care, but that will be another time.
Next time.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. And Arne, what do we say about those?
Remember to subscribe and thumbs up and thumbs down and stuff.
Yeah, thumbs up for if you like it, thumbs down if you don't like the episode. Please join our family of subscribers. It's growing all the time. And we look forward to bringing you a new episode again next week.
Yeah, and so we say goodbye from now.
Let's say
we
goodbye.
have to go for a ride now.
Let's go for a ride on our car, on our pimped up car with lovely cushions.
Bye.
Bye.